All right, welcome. Welcome everybody to the start of a grand project, which will probably take me, who knows, till they stop releasing content for this game, because I will probably never catch up. But the project is to complete each of the achievements in each patch of Europa Universalis. And for the first patch here, 1.4.1, that is available. They don't have any of the earlier ones available because they just don't have them. So this is the earliest that we can play. Iron Man is actually not enabled for this, but we'll play as if it was. But yeah, so there are 65 achievements in patch 1.4.1. And so we're going to try and get all of them to start with. Right, wow. So that will probably take me who knows how long. But we're going to keep slogging away at it a little bit at a time. So yes, so thank you so much for joining me for this project. We'll divide it up into episodes. Obviously, I'm not gonna download like 8-hour chunks of playtime at a time. That I don't think anybody would want to watch 8 hours at a time. So we'll chunk it up a bit. So to start with, we're gonna start playing through country-specific achievements and see what we get along the way. We'll keep playing through the campaigns because a lot of things we could get achievements for, like later on, some of the generic ones, we can get with any country. So we might as well just keep playing a campaign if we're having fun with it. If we're not having fun with the campaign, we'll just stop when we get an achievement for that country. So we'll see. But first up is going to be Azur, where our goal is to get all of the French cores as France. This is in the easy section of achievements here. So we're going to do that. See how we start here. We start with our Western Tech group. We're Catholic, of course. We have a pretty decent king. All our techs start at 3. French ideas are really good. The traditions, we get 20% additional manpower to start and 2 diplo relation slots, which we'll need because we have so many vassals. But we get 2 additional diplo relation slots, which is a huge deal. And once we have all of our ideas, we get a full 10% discipline, which is pretty ridiculous. Along the way, we get additional income from vassals, which is great. We're going to be using all those relation slots. We get 20% additional morale. What even is that? 20% morale. Wow. 10% more tax. We get awesome colonies that don't get attacked by natives. We get fort defense, which is whatever. I mean, if we're defending, we're doing it wrong, probably, right? We get 10% less tech cost, and we get religious tolerance. Wow, just wow. I mean, that whole suite is pretty amazing. We start at war with England. A war we should be able to win pretty easily. Let's switch it over to the political view. England is trying to claim France in a personal union in this war, I believe. And our goal is just try and kick them off the mainland. So we're going to be doing that for a while. Yeah, we'll go ahead and let's just check our options real quick. Yeah, everything looks good there. I don't know that I'm good enough necessarily to go all the way up to hard. We'll just keep it on AI difficulty normal. No bonuses. Don't want to unbalance it that way. Yeah, and we'll keep the Terra Incognita in the lobby, so we can have some surprises if we get to see something and in the lobby. I don't want to spoil ourselves. So, all right, let's accept and get this started. Let's start our adventure. Initializing our game, yes. So there's 65 achievements to get. That does not mean that it will take us 65 different games. We should be able to get several achievements that are kind of general. So we've learned about Corellia and Cola up there. Yeah, okay, fine. Let's take a look at the world as we know it. This is what we know. Alright. There are a couple islands out here in the Atlantic. We know some of the borders of what will eventually be Russia, likely. The Ottomans are down here consolidating their territory, much like we are consolidating our territory. They're probably going to rival with the Mamluks. Poland and Lithuania are over here. There'll be a chunk. And then the HRE, the Holy Roman Empire, is right in the middle there. Austria kind of at its heart. Austria will likely be a rival. Aragon or Castile will likely be rivals. England likely rival. Burgundy likely rival. There are a lot of people who are not going to like us very much. Portugal probably won't like us because they're usually allied with Castile and Aragon. Yeah, probably a lot of people who are not going to like us. But that's okay because we're France. We don't need people to like us, right? So let's get things in motion. We can. Let's take a look at how our economy is doing. Our air is alright, pretty average, 9 points total. That's an average air, 9 points. Let's see. Our diplomacy, we have no rivals yet. That's fine. We can set England as a rival. No. We're going to set England as a rival. We're at war with them. Other countries who we want to be rivals, I don't know yet. Not sure. Yeah. Well, kind of, there's no penalty for having too few rivals. So, we'll rival people as it becomes convenient for us. We start with 6 out of 6. We're guaranteeing Scotland. So, that will be probably an avenue to war with England at some point. Right, and then we have 5 vassals. We have Armagnac, probably slaughtering some of these names. Auvergne, Bourbonnais, which is here. Bourbon, Foix, down here. And Orleans. So those are all our vassals. Right, so we need to get all of our cores, which means where do we have cores that are not us? So no, we don't need that. Savoy, nope, we don't need to invade Savoy. So okay. So we probably need to integrate all our vassals because we got cores on all this crap, I'm sure. Yes, yeah, okay. So we have to integrate all of our vassals. We need to war with Provence. We do not need to fight Brittany. They're not our cores, even though that's modern day France. We don't need to worry about that for the achievement anyways. We do need to kick England off the mainland. And we need to fight Burgundy some. Looks like just there. Oh, not that much. Burgundy only has one of our cores. Yeah. So, mostly we need to fight England, Burgundy, Provence, and annex our vassals. And that's it. That does sound pretty easy. We'll probably continue this one after, just because I feel like France is probably a good country to play to get a handle on a bunch of the mechanics of this version. I have not really played 1.4.1 before, so I'm sure there's lots of quirks and things that I will discover and find surprising. Alright, so let's check our missions. Oh wait, we're going through the tabs one by one. So we got the diplomacy tab. We set one rival. We have reconquest CBs on. Yes, I could have just checked that, I suppose. Alright, our economy tab. We're making 4 ducats a month. That's pretty good at this point. That's Bith's army and fleet maintenance at full. Alright. Trade. Let's take a look at the trade map and see where we stand here. So we've got 2 merchants. One is in Bordeaux collecting, which makes sense. That's kind of that is where the bulk of our provinces are. We got a tiny bit in Genoa and a tiny bit in, just a little bit in Antwerpen. But what we've got in Antwerpen is pretty minimal. Because, we've got only 6% of that trade power. Not enough to really call collecting there reasonable. Otherwise, what leads into Bordeaux is Western Europe. Nothing's coming in here. This is basically the colonial trade node, I think. Basically all of the colonies, and it looks like Africa, like sub-Saharan Africa, they all feed into this. And then it kind of gets distributed across Europe from here. So eventually that's going to be important to control. A good portion of trade power there. We'll want to have a whole bunch of trade fleets to steer it our way and a merchant there. But for right now, there's nothing there, so we don't need to worry about it. Otherwise, the only other thing leading in is Genoa. We got a merchant there steering, and he's steering. We have... we don't really have a lot there, but there's a bunch of countries steering this way. So, yeah. The only country steering in different direction is Portugal and Grenada. Everyone else that's pulling is pulling in our direction. We have only 3% of that trade power, so we'll want to work on that. We will want more of the Genoese pie. If we can eventually get into Antwerpen, and looks like this is an end node, so there's no outflow from here. So that would be great to capture the bulk of that if we could. But that's a pretty long-term goal, I think. Other nodes in the area, we've got Sevilla, if you're saying it, I guess, correctly, Sevilla. It's also another end node, which would be another option, I suppose. But then, I mean, our trade would be split between these two. We wouldn't have to worry, I guess, as much about which direction it went from Genoa, but it's kind of inconvenient. We want to, I think, keep it mostly in Bordeaux for now. And then up here is the London trade node, where our rival England sits. They're also pulling from Western Europe. You pull to London. You can pull to you can pull to London, Antwerpen, Bordeaux, or Sevilla. So those are kind of the 4 places that you want to control. Right. I mean, obviously, if we can get Antwerpen, then it doesn't matter. If we could get Antwerpen and Sevilla, then it wouldn't matter where the trade from Western Europe went. It would all go to us. But, yeah. That's a very long-term goal. Alright, so that's the trade map. I'm being rather long-winded here. We are not even really close to unpausing yet, because there's a lot of stuff to go through. I think our merchants are in a good spot, though. Let's see a shot there. Tech, we got a lot of work to do on tech. It looks like we have a university already, which is awesome. That's like a really late technology building, and it's in our capital buildings. Yeah, that's tech cost minus 5%. That's pretty huge. That's usually, you don't get that till admin tech 17, so having that right at the start is huge. Are there any other special buildings that we have? Interesting to know. I don't think so. But having that one is a big deal. That's minus 5% tech costs. Very nice. Alright. Ideas. We went over the French ideas already. They're ridiculous. We don't get our first idea group until the next admin tech, which is actually pretty close. So, okay, missions. Let's see. So, we can protect against England, form an alliance with Aragon, or England must be driven from France. Let's take a look at the situation there. So England has 37,000. We have 30,000. We could probably get that just by beating up on one of these stacks. If we beat up on one stack, we have more guys than England. So that should be pretty easy to accomplish. We gain 5 army tradition, which would put us in about 60. Let's take a look at Aragon. They like us. They actually like us. They like us. So that would be a quick and easy 25 Diplo points. I think that's probably what we do. And that will also kind of insulate against Castile a bit. If Aragon likes us, then they're not fighting us. They're fighting with us. So that is definitely what we're going to go with here. Form an alliance with Aragon. Offer them that alliance right away. Okay. As far as what to do with our other diplomat, Austria. Okay, yeah. Okay. I was gonna say, well, actually, we can get an alliance with Austria. Or do we want to fight against them, or do we want to ally with them? A consideration to think of is Burgundy. So we likely have a conveniently similar rival in Burgundy. They're probably going to rival Burgundy also. So that would be a reason to ally with them. A reason to fight against them, if we can get into a war with them where we can win early on, we can cut them down to size and really weaken the Holy Roman Empire. Yeah. Let's take a look at Burgundy. Let's just okay. Burgundy hates our guts, so there's no way we can make any sort of alliance with them. We need to get their territory eventually. I was thinking maybe there might be some situation where you could get like the whole Burgundian inheritance if it fired, but I don't think that's possible as France because they just hate your guts, so they're never going to marry you. Right. They have a hostile opinion towards us. And I mean, if the inheritance fires and we just get Picardy, that's the only province we need from them for the achievement. So that's not the end of the world. I think for the purposes of our achievement run right now, allying with Austria is probably pretty solid. That's going to keep a lot of people off our back. Castile. Also. I just realized that's going to put us at 706 diplomatic relations, but I think we'll be okay there. Let's take a look at our advisors. See if there are any we can hire who will... Oh, man, There's no +1 advisor? Really? Not one? That's kind of terrible. I need +1 advisors. I don't have... Okay, Diplo Rep. +5. Diplomatic reputation is really good. See if I can see all that it affects. So... increases the chance of having various diplomatic offers accepted. They don't have a very helpful tooltip here. It's not really telling me what I want to know. Like, what does this affect? It's made more positive by having high legitimacy, but that's... yeah. It's not really telling me much. I suppose it would kind of, if you go to each individual one. Okay, so let's take a look here. We can get land force limits plus 10% or national manpower modifier plus 10%. Those are both pretty good. We're at our force limit right now with 30 units. So another 3, that'd just be 3 more units. So that's not that big a deal. Oh, by the way, just by starting as France, we have achieved our first achievement, which is that's a grand army. Build your army up to your country's maximum army force limit. So I'm going to mark that down as France episode 1. We have completed that achievement. Alright. That's, yeah, we'll likely win several achievements on this run. That is one of them. Right? Okay. Other achievements we're likely to win this run. Diplo annexing a vassal. That's pretty much essential to this run. We'll probably get that. We might become Defender of the Faith at some point. We'll see if we can play a full campaign as France. That's an achievement. We will likely get... That's a Grand Navy. That's building your naval force limit to your max. We will get that as mine, where we conquer a province. We'll get that. We'll get Until Death Do Us Part, secure a royal marriage. We'll probably get that pretty soon here. Victorious, win a war. We will get that. Brothers in Arms, win a war as a secondary participant. We will likely get that as well. Cold War, win a war without fighting a single battle. That's an interesting achievement. We can probably do that at some point. We will get Azur Sem, which is our national achievement that we are going for. Double the love. Let's start with no unions and get 2 at the same time. We'll try. Maybe we'll get that. I don't know. Down Under, having a colony in Australia. I would like to get that, since we are going to play kind of a full campaign here. Grand Coalition. Join a coalition of more than 5 nations. If an opportunity arises for that, sure. We can do that. It's all about the money as I accumulate 3,000 gold. I think we can probably achieve that during this run. Respected. Have 100 prestige, 100 legitimacy, and 3 stability at the same time. That's kind of if it happens thing. We will probably definitely get seriously. That's kill 10,000 men in a single battle. Yeah. Who knows? We might get the Emperor's new clothes, overthrowing Austria and becoming the Emperor of the Holy Roman Empire. That's a possibility. I'm not going to necessarily go out of my way to get it, but it's a possibility. True Catholic is control 3 cardinals. We'll probably get that at some point during this run. Truly Divine Ruler is just kind of based on luck. If you play long enough, we'll eventually get that. That's having a 5/5/5 ruler. Let's see. France is a great country for getting my armies are invincible. That is having at least 7 land morale. Let's see. We might get no pirates in my Caribbean. That is owning the entire Caribbean. Royal Authority, we might get that. That's installing a union through succession war. 5 colonies, we'll probably get that at some point here. That's having 5 colonial nations. There's one for Navy morale, we'll probably get. Viva la Revolution, having rebels that you support in another country enforce their demands. Maybe. Ruina Imperii, dismantling the Holy Roman Empire. Again, maybe. Who knows? That is possible. We will probably, hopefully, if we play this campaign through to completion, we'll get at every continent that's owning a province on each continent. Let's see. It's all about luck. Win a battle against a great leader without a leader. I don't know about that one. That's kind of about luck, I guess you could say. Let's see. World Discoverer. If we play till 1820, we might achieve that. Master of India, owning all of India as a European nation. I would like to get that. Trade Hegemon. As a Western European, own Aden, Hormuz, and Malacca. Again, that would be something that would be nice to do. Also, the Rising Sun, owning all of Japan as a European nation. If we, like I said, France is a pretty strong nation. We might be able to do that if we play a full campaign. Aggressive Expander, owning 200 provinces. Not out of the question. A Kaiser, not just in name. So if we become the Emperor, that is something we might be able to do. We'll probably save that for an Austria run. Basilius, restoring the Roman Empire. No, that is definitely, that sounds like a Byzantine Emperor and Byzantine Empire run. Let's see. Market control, be a trade leader of 7 different goods. We'll probably get that if we play long enough. Traditional player, more than 90% naval and army tradition. We will have to see about that. I'm not sure. And then conquer the world. World conquer. It is possible as France, but I think since this is my first game in this version, it seems unlikely because I don't know that I will know enough of the tricks of the trade, so to speak, to get that one on this run. But that is quite a few achievements that we are likely to get on this France run. And oh my goodness, this has gone quite some time. Let's see if we can wrap up our preliminaries here real quick. So yes, we're not going to get one of those right now. We are going to get the Diplo Rep guy. And I think the national manpower modifier is stronger for us than the force limit modifier guy. And that is going to leave us at 2 ducats a month, which we'll have to do for now. Decisions available. We can get 5% tax for 50 admin power. We'll take that. Sure. We start with pretty high war exhaustion. I'm not a huge fan of that. Religious unity is 100% for now. Once the Reformation comes, I'm sure that will change. Alright, so that's kind of where we stand. As far as the war goes, England has, it said 37,000 troops total, which means they have 19,000 on their mainland there that we can't see. So we'll have to contend with that at some point. We are surely not going to contend with their navy, I'm sure. They've got 45 ships, 12 heavies, 19 lights. Against our pathetic 2 heavies, 3 light ships. We are definitely not landing troops on their mainland this war. We will have to build up towards contending with their navy. It's not happening right now. That is for certain. Alright, so yeah, this is just about continental Europe for this war, not really considering the ability to take on their mainland, the island. Alright, so with that, let's check disputed successions. Let's see here. Austria has a disputed succession. He's pretty young though, so that's not likely. Oh, and time is up for this episode, so I'm going to leave it there. Next time we will actually unpause. I promise. Next time we'll actually unpause. So yeah, thank you, and join me next time on France episode 2, where, like I said, we'll unpause the game finally. Thank you very much.